What's going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we will be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as Stellar Lumens to Bitcoin. As always, if you guys are new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, as well as leave a giant thumbs up on the channel. Otherwise, to get into today's episode, we will be looking at the sudden pullback within cryptocurrency, specifically Litecoin. I know a lot of you guys have been commenting why we are pulling back, so I really did want to dive into that, make a strict episode specifically on the reasons for the pullback. So basically, to start that off, I am on the coinmarketcap.com, and I'm going to refresh the page really quick so we can get a live up-to-date view of the current market right now, kind of see what is falling, why it's falling, how much of a pullback we are seeing. So it did load up right now, and what I'm currently staring at is the market cap at 277 billion. So a few days ago we were around 299 billion, closer to that $300 billion mark. So we did take a small pullback, a small one at that. We see a lower 24-hour volume at 15,373 million, and a Bitcoin dominance gaining in percentage, currently at 48.1%. I believe yesterday was in the 47%, so definitely Bitcoin is gaining, which is quite interesting. It seems like still money is coming in, but more is going into Bitcoin at a higher volume than other cryptos. So I do want to pull up the top 10 coins, so I'm just going to scroll down really quick. You can see the top 10 coins. The only one that seems to be up by a thread is Tether. Tether is the only coin that is currently up only 0.23%. Otherwise, all the other currencies are down quite a bit. Bitcoin is below $8,000. I know a lot of you guys are upset about that, at 7,773, down 3.32%, and we will get into why that is. We see Ethereum, the second currency, at $435, again below that $500 mark that a lot of you guys wanted to see Ethereum rise to. That is down at 3.85%. And then Litecoin, number 7 in the charts, at $78, below that $80 mark, down around 4%. So those are the currencies we're going to talk about, as well as Stellar. So let's jump right into that. So let's check out Litecoin right now. This is pretty much the coin. Actually, let's start with Bitcoin really quick to kind of express why we're seeing the pullback and how it's affecting the rest of the market. So let's just start with the 4-hour and slowly work our way out. So this pullback was coming, and that's kind of what I wanted to stress. It's not a crazy pullback that we weren't expecting, that we weren't going to see. This was a good pullback, a healthy correction for the price, due to the fact that we climbed quite a bit quite quickly. We were at as low as pretty much $6,000, currently at around $8,000. But I want to show you guys what the pullback means. So you can see we have this white uptrend on the 4-hour band. You can see how we faced critical resistance at $8,300. Now, we did consolidate and trade sideways, and you can see, unfortunately, we broke down from this ascending triangle. Now, this pullback is, of course, okay. You can see we only fell right back down to the high-low middle moving average, which we haven't been at since the 16th, I believe. So it is currently the 31st, so about 15 days or a little over 2 weeks of trading above the 4-hour middle moving average. So a pullback was definitely needed in the market. Now you'll notice that with this sudden dip, we managed to break into an area of oversold territory. And what I mean by that is we're practically going to go up very, very quickly. We can't really go much further. The market is signifying too many people sold off too quickly, and we are currently going to head back up to higher highs very soon. Now, when we move out from the 4-hour to the daily, you will notice on the daily, we were recently in an overbought territory. So you can see when we were at price levels of $8,500, $8,400, that coin was in that overbought region. So that's kind of what I wanted to get at in this video. When we are overbought, we need to pull back down. It is not a stable position to be at. We should not be as high as 75 on the other side. We should be somewhere around 50, neutral, even levels. Now you can see when we were at the 75 region, we were at prices at 8,500, and we were also facing resistance from the $8,300 bar. Now you can see with the uptrend setting these higher lows, which we still currently are, we're facing an uptrend, and now we broke bearish or broke down from this ascending triangle, and we needed to correct. So we did pull back down to a nice area of support. We pulled right back down to that high-low middle moving average, and you can currently see we are using that as support, which is something that the market really needs. So to see that small pullback and that small correction is going to actually help the market continue to grow, because as you guys know, when we grow too quickly, like that $20,000 rise we had in 2017, we fell pretty darn quickly, and we fell pretty darn fast. Well, in that case, I guess 8 months isn't that fast, but we fell pretty darn fast. We were not maintaining $20,000 at all. There was a few hours of opportunity that you had to sell off at 20,000 before it fell or corrected itself. Not a bubble, but a correction or a recovery back down to neutral levels. And I'm going to show you guys that on the weekly. So we pull back right back down to this high-low MMA. Is nothing to be worried about. It was actually anticipated. Like I said, I usually see ascending triangles, which are considered bullish. Now, I don't know where people are getting that information from, but ascending triangles, this is usually used for Forex trading, and it's usually used for trading stocks and looking at stock TA. Now, as you guys know, cryptocurrency is extremely volatile, so you can't really use those measurements to this currency. They might not pass on to the cryptocurrency, so you have to go by your own judgment. Now, from the year and a half that I've been doing this for and really trading TA and learning TA, I've noticed most of the time cryptocurrency breaks down from ascending triangles. It's the opposite. Not many people would anticipate that. Now, could that be because we were in an 8-month bearish market? Yeah, it's possible. I mean, nothing is for certain in cryptocurrency. But from my personal experience and how I like to judge the situation, when I see an ascending triangle like this, I wouldn't buy in anticipating a breakup, because you usually break down. Now, a pullback back down to this high-low MMA was definitely called for, in my opinion. Now, I'm going to jump over to the weekly, and then we'll look at Litecoin in 1 second. So now you guys see on the weekly that we did break a weekly 7 or 8 month downtrend. This is a descending triangle. We managed to climb back down to this high-low middle moving average, use it as support like we saw on the other charts, on the other hours, and now you can see we are popping up off of that. Yes, a small correction was due, but the major resistance I'm currently seeing is at $10,000. So I don't think we will have much issue getting to $10,000, but once we near that level, then I can see it being a very big and interesting test for cryptocurrency. Now, if we do manage to blast through or retest $10,000, I do think we should blast through it very quickly, mainly because of FOMO buying in. When people hear cryptocurrency is now a 5-digit currency, not a 4-digit anymore, we're going to see this currency blast off. The amount of FOMO buying in, retail investors, institutional investors throwing their money into crypto because they see that we're going back up is going to be huge. And when that hits the market, we're going to see a major spike in volume of all across the board, all the cryptocurrencies all at once. So that's really what I wanted to push for. You know, this small dip in the currency is really nothing on the weekly. You can see this is a very small dip, very minor, clearly resistance being held at that $8,300 region, so nothing too bad, but you can see we are headed up. You know, we look beautiful on this RSI, currently sitting at 50, so plenty of potential to go higher. You can see the last time we were this low was honestly not for a very long time. Last time we were this low, let's see right here, was I'm going to use this bottom that we had on the 18th, which was literally last week. Last time we were bottomed out this low was all the way back in, very interesting, July 24th of 2015. So think about that, guys. If we scrolled back to 2015, we have only gone up from there. Yes, we've had some small minor corrections, but we have only gone up. And that is truly where I'm seeing the rest of the market going. We will go back to this overbought area. You can see how often we hung out in there. So we're definitely headed to go back in there after a major correction in the currency. We have finally caught back to an area of support, and we're going to just continue to ride that back up into a nice higher movement. Now, is it possible to draw a trend line on this? It definitely is. It definitely could be that this could be the overall uptrend on the currency that it wants to continue. It's definitely possible. I'll make it red for you guys. This could be something that it wants to continue. You can see the amount of points that it has on contact. You can see how we go right through that high-low MMA, and we are continuing to go up. I'm actually going to make this blue, so this way it's a different color than the high-low MMA, a little bit easier to see. So you guys can see it cuts right through. So, if we do manage to pull back down again, hopefully we just consolidate sideways and retest this level, but we're only going to head up, guys. I really, truly think we're only going to head up. So taking that, I'm going to move on to Litecoin now. A lot of you guys are worried about Litecoin pulling back down, and you can already see it's receding or retracing back up. So I want to first look at the 4-hour and then continue out, and then we'll cover Ethereum and Stellar. But you guys can see where this is having issues right now. If I show you guys this on the 4-hour, it looks pretty clear as to what just happened. So you can see we have this 8-month downtrend right here. You can see we have support at the bottom right here at 77, which it has not broken anytime soon, anytime soon. You can see where it got sandwiched. So this is an ascending triangle. If you drew a nice line of support right here, of resistance, you can see where it's facing that issue. And now you can see that, again, another ascending triangle has broken down. Just something to keep in mind. You guys can see on the 4-hour we are entering that oversold territory. So we're going to start going back up very soon. You can see we fell all the way down to $75, but we immediately pulled right back up to support, which was definitely anticipated and expected, nothing to worry about. You can see we were getting sandwiched in between this high-low MMA as well as resistance on the downtrend. So definitely a lot of resistance was pushing this currency down at the moment. It was definitely a strong resistance at best. It may just consolidate for a few more days and definitely retest this area. We may see the price maybe move back up to $80 and then just continue to trade sideways. If 80, it may just stay around 78, 79. Trade sideways until we get to the point, and then we should anticipate a movement upwards, breaking 8-month resistance, which will be huge for the currency. Now we're jumping onto the daily. And then you guys can see where we're having this trouble. You can see we're basically hit the top of this high-low MMA. The top of this resistance band once again, fell, caught support at 77, and are continuing to stay above that. So nothing peculiar that I would say, nothing to worry about in the short term. I do think we're going to turn around and head back up, and I do think for the most part we are going to head back up. Now, interesting enough, if we fell ever so slightly lower, and now you could theoretically consider this a triple bottom. Now it depends on who you want to go by, but you have one, you have two, and now you have a third one. This could be considered a triple bottom in that sense. That's definitely something I wouldn't 100% say happened, but the fact that we are entering that bottom region, which we've done twice already, is definitely room for a bullish signal and a movement upwards from what I've seen. Again, you can see how close we are to finishing and completing an 8-month downtrend, and I do think we're going to pop out of here with flying colors and head straight back up to the high-low MMA at around $112 very soon. In a blink of an eye, we'll be there. And now that's another point I wanted to make. When you guys are looking at charts, you guys are staring at 4-hour and daily charts. That is so close, and you're going way too in depth at the time period. You got to take a step back from things and look at things from a broader view. And when you look at things from the weekly, which is probably my favorite to view, you guys can see a beautiful downtrend forming, a beautiful descending triangle forming, or a bull flag, whatever you want to call that, on Litecoin, and it's pretty major. 8 months of downtrend could, result in 8 months of uptrend in a bullish pattern. 8-month bull market, I'm sure a lot of people would be very happy. So honestly, another thing I wanted to point out is this is now considered I think it's the 6-week. We have, let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks now of no volume really being moved in the market. You guys can see we have fallen all the way down to here, major candles right here for weekly candles, and you can see once we got to the bottom, right wedged in this this downtrend right here, right at the pickle, right at the bottom, you can see now we're facing a lot of support and resistance. So we're gonna see, we're gonna see if we can hold the support right here. We're gonna see if resistance and the bears are gonna push us down. Bitcoin broke through 8 months of support, so I honestly do think Litecoin will break through to higher support. And we usually do break up from descending triangles. So that's another point I wanted to make, but we are consolidating for the moment. Nice to see. This is not a maintainable thing. We are going to move up or we are going to move down very quickly. I'm more probably 80-20% that we're going to break up. So definitely wanted to give you guys a heads up on that. Just to cover Ethereum really quickly, which seems to be taking the biggest hit out of all the cryptos at the current moment. You guys can clearly see more resistance at this high-low MMA. The longer, like I said, we hang out there, the better the chances of us falling down to lower levels. And clearly that is what happened. We did break through. We stood here for way too long, fell down, used support at 450, and then broke through once again. Now down to the bottom support at around 429, 428. You can see that we have now entered an oversold territory, so I do think this is going to be the bottom for Ethereum for a few days right now, a few days at best. And then we should start to see that reclimb back up and try to break through its high-low MMA. But lastly, let's check out Stellar. I know a lot of you guys were concerned about Stellar or had that in your portfolio, so we are on the daily chart for Stellar. And honestly, things seem okay right now. You know, they really do. Not much has happened in the short term, the short while. I do want to draw a support line right here for you guys, if not a little bit lower. You could draw the bottom right there. That's definitely possible. You can see right here, you can see we've tested the wicks right there, and then a foreshore bottom right here that is broken out. And again, you guys notice that there is a resistance right here. You can see where that is right there. That's support. I mean, that's support, this resistance. And clearly, it's another game with the high-low middle moving average. It's going to have to retest that for quite some time. We're going to see, you can see how much it's acting as a support level right now for the currency. You can see how it fell all the way down to here and then receded back up. So this green band is acting as a major key for Stellar. So we're definitely looking good. A few more days of consolidation. You guys can clearly see the double top it had right here, which is a bearish signal, and that is currently why it's pulling back down. But you can see a very similar pattern at best. So I do think with a few more days of consolidation, it should hopefully try to break through resistance right here. Otherwise, it's most likely going to fall back down. The longer it hangs out at this high-low MMA, like we saw with Ethereum, it will most likely break back down to this support right here. But otherwise, that's going to sum up the episode for today, guys. If you're new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe. Leave a giant thumbs up on the video. I'd love to hear some comments on what you thought about this TA. Otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.